So here we are with roll reveal number 250. This is a 1956D roll. Plastic tube roll. Looks like a pretty decent roll from the sides. I bought it from a good source. The thing here is, though, we're looking for some really nice special die varieties that are scarce to rare. Won't see very often, ever, if we see them in this roll. And this must be a Harris tube. It is a Harris tube. Got a coin stuck at the end. There we go. Usually throw these away after I use them. Harris tubes don't like to let go of the last few coins in the roll. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's 1:02. I did tell people about 5 after, so we'll give it a few more minutes. A couple more minutes anyway. Hello, Joe. So I don't know who all was going to try to show up for this broadcast or not. I guess I'll go ahead and just get things started here. Alright, now for coin number 1 in the roll. Flip it over John Brandon Bow. John Brandon Bow, get the first coin. Let's get this kicked off with a great one. See what happens. What do we have here? It's a normal 1956 D cent. Techstar, Yo Man. So our first coin in the roll doesn't prove to show us anything good. Move on over and take a look at the rest of the obverse of the coin just to see if there's anything else going on there. Now, like with the 1960D roll, I don't really expect to find anything on the reverse of 1956D. And so we're going to take a look at the first 20-25 coins or so on the reverse, and then we're going to just stop looking at the reverses because, well, by that time we will have seen pretty much all the different dies that we have to offer in this particular roll. We got coin number 1 coming out of this roll now. John Brandon Bow turns up a normal coin. Let's take a look at coin number 2 for Deanne. Coin number 2 for Deanne is this one right here. And let's see what we have. Nope, once again, normal. I hope at some point I can discontinue this trend that we have of not finding the really good stuff in 56D. I've got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. There's never an end to the attempt to find something good. Adam Chambers, coin number 3. Hello, Mr. Worley, Mr. Buyer. So far, it has not worked out for us in this roll. 3 coins in, nothing found so far. Well, we can keep trying. There's a little die break on the left wheat. That's for Adam Chambers. Coin number 4 now. Farm Dog. Let's see what we got for Farm Dog. So we got really minor RPM. It may be listed, but if it's not, I probably would not list this one. You can see that there's just a little bit of doubling on the outside edge of the lower serif. Hello, Bill. And Khaled. Let's see. Got nothing on that one. Let's take a look at the reverse now. Well, there's Mr. Worley, too. Techstar. It's interesting seeing the crowds that show up during the day. When here I'm thinking everybody is fast working away at their job, whatever job they may have. Of course, some of us are retired, so I don't know. I'm not one to speak. Coin number 5 now. Levels of Madness again. Or do we have the levels yet? We didn't have levels yet. Okay, so this is Level's first coin in this roll. Level's first coin in the roll turns out to be, looks like a normal 1956 D. So far, retired and snowed in. Retired with disability. Okay. Yeah, man, what do you call snowed in where you're from? How many inches of snow do you have? Yeah, Wanda, some people don't live in paradise. Here's number 6. Coin number 6 now. Techstar. About a foot. Huh. Yeah, some people sneeze at a foot of snow. So a foot of snow would probably shut this area down. Not a problem. Totally shut down. Of course, North Carolina is funny. They close the schools when there's a forecast for snow. That's right. You get a forecast for snow and they shut things down here. Now this is my work. I work and play at the same time. Because Mommy said I could. Wow. Nothing. Not a double eyelid. That's a gouge. It goes in the wrong direction. Well, let's see. How much snow do we have today? None. Well, why is that, Chuck? Well, because, let's see. Let me take a quick look here. It is... Can you read that? Wait a minute. You can't read that. 57 degrees. That's it. 57 degrees here in Smithfield, North Carolina. 57 degrees is why we don't have any snow. It's also part of why when we do get a dusting of snow here, they close everything down. Here's coin number 8, Joe McBride. And Joe gets, well, he gets to join the crowd of people who are getting normal coins out of this particular roll. At least they're in pretty decent shape. I mean, they're red. They're nice coins. Over 100 inches of snow. Yeah, I think in North Carolina that would be a serious problem. Now over in the western part of the state, they've got a 60-70 inch base at the ski places in the mountains. This is another one of the same die, so it's going to be a normal coin. And so we do have mountains about 3 hours west of here, 3 or 4 hours west of here, where they get a decent amount of snow. Hello, Dennis. There's coin number 9. Now coin number 10. Yeah, for that particular die, the one where the S is up between the 1 and the 9 of the date, it's another of the same die. I got my lesson in checking the entire roll with that die. It's going through a 1956 D roll I bought at a coin show in Memphis, Tennessee in 2004. And I got through like 75% of the roll and thought, well, there's not going to be anything in here worthwhile. And I just about put the cat back on the roll, moved on, but I decided, you know what? I've already done 75% of the roll, and, well, I'm not losing anything by going through the rest of it, so I did. The very last coin in the roll was one of those 1956D with the, hey, there's an RPM. It's a rather small one, but we'll take it. Looks like this coin has had, looks like this one was tossed into the roll. That's still an RPM. So this will go to Paul Hampton. Got him an RPM anyway. First one in the roll. Now here's number 12, Jeff Dunn. And this one's not an RPM. Might have some promise in the sense that this roll does not appear to be original all the way through. Which could very well add up to be a good thing for us. But the thing that 1956D roll taught me back in the day, don't ever sell a roll short. Look through every coin, because you never know when you're going to find a goodie. Could have been down to the end of the basket, last roll of the last basket of that particular day. Could have been the very last coin minted. Of course, that wouldn't catch, because it was an early dice date. It was a very nice early coin. In fact, they are the photographs for the early dice date of that die on coppercoins.com. That was my coin, the one that I found. I have to get it out and rephotograph it because I need larger photos. Been working on trying to change all the photos for copper coins over to the larger format. We're still working on it. There's a whole team of people working on it. It's been an amazing ride. Got nothing on that coin. I think I might also have my lag problem set with my other microscope, so we might be able to move back over to the other microscope for the reveals. Some chance of it anyway. There's Party Pickle. And Party Pickle is going to pick up, well, it's a low D, but it's not an RPM. And not a double die on the obverse. There really aren't any double dies known for the reverse, but we're looking anyway. I never know when you're going to catch on to something new. Any day we could run into a new one. Oh, there's a bunch of them, yo man. There's a bunch of them. They were we're working on replacing them. They were ones that were added in when there was a previous team of people working on it, and people would reserve the die and never do anything with it. And so we have skipped dies. That's going to come to an end because we have a better system of managing that now than we did before. Aha, so Bill, you got your package. And that was a plate coin, right? That 1DO010? I think that was a plate coin, if I remember correctly. You retired for a while anyway? No. If you have to be working for someone else for a paycheck to be employed, and not working for someone else for a paycheck means you're retired, then I am retired. Okay, this is not an original roll. It's not even close. So, as we fail on this, I am going to get a different roll. You guys will get 2 coins in these flips. I'm going to go back through the flips and redo another roll of 56D and see if we can actually find anything in a 56D roll, because this one is not original. I did not look all the way through this roll prior to getting this started. Hey Scott, we have found 1 RPM out of this entire roll so far, but we found a whole bunch of brown and fingerprinted coins, so we're going to get another roll out after this is over and go through another roll to see if we can actually find some true goodies. I will not be able to do it now. This is another RPM, so we do have another RPM. But we will do another roll, not as a replacement, but as an addition to what you're getting here. So Surig's getting an RPM this time. So the next time through, he may or may not get another RPM. Here's Doug. Let's see. Nothing going on here. I'm classified as self-employed. Yes, officially I am classified as self-employed, and I do have to drag all my numbers together for the tax man and things like that. Yes, I get that. But where my conversation is actually leading is, are you really employed if what you do is what you love to do and you don't really feel like it's work at all? So that's kind of where I was going with it. Now see, some of these are from an original roll because we've run into this die a number of times. And then there were other coins just thrown into the roll because it wasn't a full roll, I guess. Because, well, perhaps someone already picked stuff out of it. Either way, it doesn't make any difference. I would much rather you guys have an actual opportunity to get a good coin out of an original roll rather than have me pick through this and make excuses. So we're just going to finish this. Yes, Bill, I have. The 1946 S roll, I have sent those out. If you did not get yours, it means that I probably still have it in your box with the other items. I can go through and find it and get it sent to you. Wanda, everything you do has taxes. There's tax implications pretty much everywhere on everything. So you can't live in this country without being taxed one way or another. So I just accept it and move on, you know. It's what we have to do. We don't really have much of a choice. I mean, we could live below the poverty line, not have to pay any taxes, but you're still going to pay sales tax. You're still going to pay hotel tax if you go to a hotel. You're going to pay gas tax if you drive. Here's Mr. Doug. Let's see what Mr. Doug gets. I'm just hoping by the grace of God and some other mistake we got left a few nice die varieties in here to pick out, because, well, this roll is basically, you know how when you do a football play and there's a flag on the play after the play starts and it's against the defense, the offense has a free play. Well, this is a free play. A mixed roll. Was it a nice mixed roll? Was it a good mixed roll? As there are some of those rolls, I mean most of the rolls that I put on those box lots, I have no idea what they were. Never looked inside of them. They went as they were. Hello, Jim. So I hope, yo man, I hope you got something really good out of those. Alright, we're going to quit looking at reverses now. I've been through half the roll. Has been completely unproductive on the reverse. We've gotten 2 RPMs. So we can continue to look at RPMs, or we can continue to look at unproductive reverses. This is another one from the original part of the roll, because this die has shown up a number of times. Yeah, what about those bucks? The 3 people who actually produced anything in the bucks just came from other teams. So I think the Bucks can thank the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers for their Super Bowl win, if you really want to go there. Because that Super Bowl was basically won on the backs of Brady, Gronkowski, and Antonio Brown. Yes, I will be selling reveals tonight. We will be holding another week worth of reveals. This is a very interesting coin. Look at that die break. Or no, is that a die? No, it's not a die break. It's actually a flange of metal that came off of the rim as the coin was being struck. You got more of it up here. So you have the possibility of some sort of a broken planchet issue. No, not a broken planchet at all. It's very strange. Yeah, Brown's playing on the Bucks. It's not playing for the Steelers anymore, that's for sure. There's coin number 28. This one goes to Mike Birchman. And Mike gets, yeah, a normal coin this time around. Another thing I need to talk to you guys about. This is something that is kind of depressing, but it is what it is. You know how I tend to be awake in the middle of the night more than I'm awake during the day? Well, in order to get some of these reveals finished, I'm going to have to start doing shows closer to the middle of the night. Now, I know that you're going to miss them live, but at least they'll be there that you can go back and take a look at them, and if you like the surprise, you can wait till you get your package and find out what you got. You know, kind of like some people still don't like to know the gender of their baby before they have it. Well, I actually considered doing yesterday's reveal shows at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning this morning because I was actually awake. And I decided, you know, I'd like to talk to the people about that first before I just jump in and start doing that. I know everyone would like to see a live reveal, but that pushes me behind sometimes because of this condition I seem to be going through. So I would like to know if it's okay with you guys, anyway. Not necessarily that you have final say over this, but I will take your input as to whether or not having a reveal at, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning works, and that you can go back and take a look at it when it's finished, and you can see what you got. Because that was the primary reason for having reveals to begin with, doing them on film, was so that you guys could see that I'm opening the roll and going through the roll in a very fair fashion, so that nobody thinks they wasted money on being screwed out of coins that they thought they deserved. So I just want to make sure that everyone sees that I'm getting one coin off the next part of the list. I've got the names in there and everything's all done before I even start the reveal show. So I can actually get into doing more reveals if I am open to doing them in the middle of the night. Well, I got everyone unanimously basically saying that it was okay for me to do it then. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. And I may even do yesterday's reveals in the middle of the night or early in the morning, I could be doing a 5 o'clock a.m. review. I could be doing a 7 o'clock a.m. review. So whenever I get the chance to get around to doing them, I will do them. Although I will schedule them. At the beginning of the week, I will schedule them at normal hours. And if it happens to be that there's a problem with me being able to do them at normal hours, I will do them at whenever I can. And not try to squeeze in so many primetime hours of my day to get reveals done. Because my wife might like to visit with me once in a while, and when I'm doing reveals all the time on primetime evening hours, tends to turn into a bit of an issue. Not necessarily a fight or anything, but it's like, well, she gets kind of lonely having to watch movies by herself, so she wants me down there watching movies with her sometimes. If I'm up here doing reveals all the time, then she thinks I'm married to the coins and not to her. Not a great thing to do. For those of you who are young and single and are listening, do not marry your coins. Although you do love them and they love you back, it's never quite the same. I might be surprised as to actually how many people would show up and watch live. But I tell you what, it's kind of like having smaller classroom sizes when you're in school. You know, when you're a kid and they suddenly mandate that they can't have a school classroom size over 21 people and you've had 40 people in your classroom. And it's like, suddenly, you get more time with the teacher. You get more one-on-one time with the teacher. I mean, the teacher's actually watching the chat. But sometimes we skip through, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines on the chat before I have a chance to look down. When I look down, I notice that I've missed a question. Now, of course, everyone is always invited to watch any reveal at any time that I happen to be doing it, but I'm not expecting people to show up. It's not that I'm going to get a complex about you guys not coming in and watching. It may actually put a little bit of a dent on my viewership hours because, well, some people may not watch it at all because they didn't get to see it live. But I'm trying to come up with a good solution that still works for everyone, you know. Will I be okay talking to nobody? Yes, I will, actually. I will be okay talking to nobody because I'll bring up a lot of the educational things that I tend to like to talk about during these videos. And I think it'll work out okay. May not be the greatest thing in the world, but it'll work out okay. What I find to be a very strange thing about me is that I have always been very microphone shy. It's like I really don't get comfortable talking into the microphone, but you know, over the past couple of years of doing this, it's actually not been an issue at all. I get better and better at this as I go along. It's not that I'm not saying that I'm better at doing the action, I'm better at handling it. That's right, I never answer my own questions. I do, but I pretend that I'm talking to the dog so I don't seem to be crazy. And of course he looks at me like I've grown a third eye. But nonetheless, I tend to be able to do better if I think I'm talking to my dog and he's not listening. Hello, Mr. Morrell. We are finding a zippity-doo-dah nothing in this roll. Maybe an RPM here and there. But what we have found to realize as we've been going along in here is that there are other coins thrown into a partial original roll. And the other coins that were thrown in were not in the best condition. So we are going to replace this roll and not necessarily replace the coins in the holders because I don't want them back, so I'm going to add another coin to every one of the holders in this particular reveal. So you're going to get 2 coins for the price of 1. And the next roll that I go through is going to be a bank wrapped roll, so I can be sure that I'm getting something original out of this. You went live on someone else's live stream and you were bumbling and rambling? Why? Because you couldn't get over the shock of being on a microphone where other people are listening to you and that potentially thousands of people will hear you? And what kind of a show was it? Hopefully it wasn't an advice show where you were supposed to be the one giving advice. If it was just a hangout, that's different. Because on just a hangout, you can pretty much say or do whatever you want to do. But in an educational show with at least some sort of structure, you kind of have to have it together when you get online. Everyday opportunity trade fee. I have no idea what that means. I'm not even going to pretend. I wish I could. Oh, trade day. Everyday opportunity trade day. I still don't know what the everyday opportunity part means. I wish I did. Was this on somebody's channel specifically? Oh, stocks. Is that what it is? Stocks? That's why I don't know anything about it. I let someone else handle all my stocks for me because I don't understand them. That's a YouTube channel. And so it is about stocks. It's about investing. Let's see what we got with the rest of this. Well, it's another one of those. I call it one of those, but what I'm looking at is the die scratch coming off the bottom of the 9. I've seen plenty of these in this roll. This one's got fingerprints. Looks like little fat Larry got a hold of this one. You just started? Oh, Joe, I would like to know what to do to make that work for me. But, man, I tell you what. If you're doing day trading or anything like day trading, it takes a lot of education, takes a lot of time. And if you're doing long-term investing, basically the key to the whole success of those is to put the money in there and forget about it. That's kind of the direction I go. Let's put the money in there and forget about it. I let somebody else manage exactly which funds my money goes into. Well, folks, it looks like we're going to hit a 0. Well, near 0. We've got 2 RPM coins, but those were both coins that were tossed into the roll and not ones that were part of the original roll. Jeff done. And we're going to open a different original roll at some point later. I think I'll probably do that sometime at night. I'll open a roll that will replace this particular reveal. So it's going to be a reveal number 250, a rehash. There's Jim Fletcher. I'll leave all of the flips exactly as they are now, and I'm going to go back through another roll and get for you guys what comes out of an original roll, because this one was not original, and that's part of the name of this show. So we find that we've been skunked on a roll. I'm not going to pass that savings on to you. You guys are going to get an original roll regardless. Now, it is a acknowledged fact that you're not always going to come out with varieties in an original roll. But at least I want it to be an original roll. You want to run the fingerprints and identify the culprit? Does anybody here have access to APHIS? If you have access to APHIS, I'll send you some coins. Because I've got fingerprints, folks. I definitely have fingerprints. Of course, APHIS is only going to work if the person's ever been printed for the military or for crime or anything else. Driver's license, anything to that effect. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to figure out who some of these people are. Give them a call and say, hey, you know, you rolled up some 1956 pennies that had your fingerprints on them. And I just want to let you know that we know who you are. And we're coming for you. That's right, you earned our coins. We're going to come and demand fresh, brand new Gem BU 1956 rolls. Or we're going to egg your house. So it's your choice. That's what we could do. This is an interesting little bit of die damage and stuff that's going on. I've seen this. This is part of the original roll, and I've seen 2 or 3 of these in this roll so far. I don't see anything of value there. It's just interesting. You can have interesting without having value. Why, so many things go through my mind. Things I would like to say that I don't. Because, well, this is a non-political show. We don't talk about past presidents. Next. Okay, we're going to get nothing additional out of this roll. I got 1 coin left, and then it'll be time for me to go figure out what it is my wife has been trying to get me involved in for the last couple of hours. She's come upstairs twice since our reveals started today, looking for me. So we're going to give her the pleasure of knowing that we were busy, and when she wants me to do something, I'll do it, because I'll have time, because I've already finished my reveals for today. And there we go. That's it, coin number 50. And I will grab another roll, mark number 250 on it, and get it rescheduled to come back up again. Oh, sometime when I get a chance. So we have 48 normal coins and 2 RPMs, both of which are not 100% red. So that's the disappointing results from this particular show. We've got number 19 and number 11. Those go to Sir Egg and Paul. And the coins are, they're mostly red coins. They're pretty nice, and they're decent RPMs too, but it wasn't a fair shake. So, I tell you what, folks, come back to the auction. You won't be disappointed. Come back to the auction at 8 p.m. this evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll continue this wonderful conversation. I'll see you then, folks. Have a great afternoon, and if I don't see you tonight, have a great week.